Alright, so in this video we're checking out the DEPSTECH DS520 industrial endoscope. So you get the manual, and of course you get a case. You get the cable that includes the camera. I'll talk about this here in a second. And then charging cable charges via USB-C. Doesn't come with a power adapter, so you have to use one of those wall adapters. And you get a few of these additional accessories. It's a cover, and you get a hook and a magnet, and this goes to on the end where the camera goes, and those are just things you can add. Of course, you get this is the device itself. It comes with a 5-inch IPS display, pretty nice and bright. It's kind of ergonomic. You can hold it like this. It's ergonomic for right-handers. The cable goes in here. Kind of looks like a USB cable, like this. Do have to make sure it's all the way in. This comes in two versions with two different length cables. This is a 16.5 foot cable. You can also get the one with I think it's a 4.5 or 5 foot cable, I believe. So save a few dollars if you don't need a super long cable like this. But of course, endoscope here, a lot of obvious use cases, automotive, HVAC, looking behind, like hard to reach places, inaccessible places. This is what this is going to be good for. You can have a nice long cable with a camera on the end, and you can fish it through stuff and take a look at whatever you're interested in. But for me, I'm mainly interested in the close focal length, and also this with the macro ability of looking at like electronics. So in my case, drone parts. This particular model has two cameras on the end. So there's a side camera with one LED to light up whatever you're trying to look at, and then you have a front-facing camera here with 6 LEDs. Of course, that's going to be brighter. The focal distance is a little bit further for the front-facing camera. The side camera is a little bit closer. I think it's like 2 to 6 centimeters, and I think it's 3 to 10 on this one here. So, if you need to look at something even closer, the side camera is available, and you can switch on the screen using the buttons. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that now. Quick look around the device. You have a little flap here on the bottom, and this is where the SD card goes, or the micro SD card, which is included. It's a 32 gigabyte card, and you charge there via USB-C. Nothing on the back or the sides, and just the cable thing on the top, and then you have your buttons and your screen here. All right, go ahead and plug the cable in. Gonna make sure it's seated all the way down. Turn it on, you long press the orange button, and it should power up. And I'm pointing at the box here. You can see it's upside down. Alright, so I got the camera pointing at the box here. You can see everything's upside down. If you short press this little back button like this, it'll flip it over, so you don't have to worry too much about your orientation. If you want to look at the side camera, you long press this button. It'll pause, and you can see it's looking at the side over here at the case. The side camera is over here, and we're looking at the case now. If you want to change the intensity of the LED, use the left and the right buttons here. So I think it's at maximum brightness here, so I'll just drop it down. So it's a little better for the exposure. And we'll go ahead and switch this to if you long press the back button again, it'll do a split screen here. So now we see the case there at the side camera on the left, and then you have the front-facing camera looking at the box. And then long press again, and you get the front-facing camera. So to take a photo, you just short press this photo video button here. You'll see this little flash on the screen that says it took a photo. If you want to take a video, long press the button, and then you'll see there on the upper left, it's going to start counting or start the timer for the video. And you can see as I'm moving around what that video should look like. I'll give you a better example here, and I'll show you the recorded footage here in a second. And to stop, just short press the button. Alright, to access to your menu and settings, you're going to short press this gear button. And you can go through here, you can change the resolution. I think there's only 1080p or 720p. And some of the other settings here are like auto power off, time setting, that's the time and date, language, screen brightness. So go in here and you can see we're pretty, almost there, 3/4 of the way. You can format your SD card here and then reset your system in case you want to reset settings to factory. And just short press the gear button to exit out of the menu. So one of the use cases I'm interested in is looking at things like circuit boards. And let's just take a look at what this is here. So I'm going to go ahead and start the recording, and I'm going to show you the recorded footage. So I'm going to long press this video here, and I'm going to bring the device that I'm interested in front of the camera. You get an idea what the details. It's still only 1080p video, and you can't really move the stuff around too quickly because the frame rate's like 20 or 25 frames per second. It's not a super high frame rate, but of course this is for inspecting stuff, not for looking at fast moving objects. The other thing is like looking inside of completed drones, for example. And I turned the LED on here so you can see it's at full brightness. It's a little bit, almost a little bit too bright, but you can see now where it's useful. You can kind of look in there between the boards and see what's going on, where it might be a little more difficult to do that. If you want to get a video of this, it's going to be hard to do that with other types of cameras. Anyway, I think it's a pretty cool product. I probably will use this in future videos. Actually, you've probably seen some footage of this already in the newbie drone video from like a while back. And yeah, I think I'll add a little bit extra to the videos in terms of just providing that sort of macro video. Anyway, there'll be a link in the description if you want to check it out. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.